Welcome back to Wake Up America. I'm Allison Maloney. Fired by Forbes. That's what happened to our next guest when he said he investigated the finances of the one and only Dr. Anthony Fauci. Joining in now to give his side of the story is the CEO and founder of OpenTheBooks.com, Adam Andrzejewski. Adam, welcome back to Wake Up America. So you've been investigating Dr. Fauci's finances for a while now. We've talked to you about it on the show. What happened this time that you believe led to your firing?
So Dr. Anthony Fauci is the most highly compensated federal employee. And Allison, you know, he's the most visible. So for the past 13 months, my organization at OpenTheBooks.com has investigated his finances. We published our findings at Forbes. When I did that, here's what happened. The National Institutes of Health, which is Dr. Fauci's employer, they loaded an artillery shell in their big gun. They fired it at the C-suite at Forbes. Forbes quickly folded, and my column was terminated.
Wow. What did Forbes say to you? How did you find out? They email you? They talk to you?
So the National Institutes of Health, 6 of their top PR executives, they issued a corrections email to me and to the top content officer at Forbes. It was a corrections email without substantial corrections. Allison, I think I changed one word in the piece. These were very small changes. They also had some context updates, which I immediately made within 10 minutes. However, what that triggered from Forbes within 24 hours was a phone call where they said that I could no longer publish on Dr. Anthony Fauci. And then I had to clear every topic on a go-forward basis. That had never happened in the 8 years of me contributing to Forbes. And then they went silent. They didn't approve any more topics, and they terminated my column 10 days later.
I've never heard of PR companies that have had so much power over a publication like that. That's insane to me.
And that's, Allison, that's the real story.
Yeah.
The size, scope, and power of the federal government. You've got unelected bureaucrats like Dr. Anthony Fauci that now commandeer the organ of state authority. So think about this. Over at NIH, you have 86 public affairs officers. And what do they do all day long? Fauci does all the media. Yeah. We know that in the first 18 months of the pandemic, he did 400 media events. So what do the 86 highly compensated PR officers do? And they're pressuring mainstream organizations like Forbes nowadays, and these organizations are folding.
Wow, it's unbelievable to me. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Fauci. He had a lot of press, but he's also getting a lot of money. So you reported that Fauci's more than $417,000 salary. It's the highest listed salary of any government employee, including President Biden. Why do you think he's getting paid so much?
Well, we unearthed a memo from 2004. It was a permanent pay adjustment for Dr. Anthony Fauci, specific to his biodefense work. Allison, in other words, he was paid to stop the next pandemic, and he failed. Now, you referenced his salary from 2019 at $417,000. Then he got a pay raise in 2020 to $434,000. Breaking news on your show in 2021, he now makes $456,000. Wow. For the last 3 years, he has been the #1 most highly compensated federal employee.
Wow. I wonder if he's going to retire anytime soon, because that retirement package, it's approximately $350,000 a year. I don't know, maybe it's more because his salary just went up. His wife's salary is high as well. Look, what do you make of this? Because he doesn't look like he's retiring anytime soon.
So the Faucis have done very well. For instance, they have a household net worth that rivals $11 million. Dr. Anthony Fauci's wife is also a federal employee at the National Institutes of Health, where she's the chief bioethicist. So if you take both of their base salaries, now he out-earns the president, she out-earns the vice president north of $235,000 a year, tack on 30% for their federal benefits, and the two Faucis paid for by taxpayers every single year on cash compensation, their income rivals $900,000.
Wow. Wow, that's a pretty big number. I want to quickly get back to your column. Do you think that there may be fears of what you were uncovering, could maybe lead to an investigation or something bigger? Like, do you think that they're scared of something and that's why they reached out to Forbes?
So NIH is certainly acting like they have a lot to hide. Dr. Anthony Fauci is acting like he has a lot to hide. Yeah. We've got a federal lawsuit with Judicial Watch, and NIH admits to holding 1,200 pages of Fauci financial documents. And Allison, I want you to think about that. In the last COVID aid bill from last spring, they spent $2 trillion. The huge bill was only 600 pages. Fauci has 1,200 pages of financial documents over at the agency that they're supposed to be producing to us subject to our lawsuit. Every single one of those pages could be a national news story.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, thank you for informing us, Adam Andrzejewski. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Allison.